Hi everybody, I'm Danielle Jameson and welcome to my channel. It's been a while since I've really just sat down and told you guys a little story, so that's what I'm going to be doing in today's video, and I'm going to be talking about the time that I actually got kicked out of counselling. I do realise the whole point of going to counselling is that it is regular one-to-one contact with your counsellor. But before I even started the counselling sessions, when I was filling out the forms and things like that, I made the counsellors well aware of my illness, fibromyalgia, which stops me from attending university on a really regular basis, and it stops me from doing loads of other things on a regular basis as well, because quite a lot of the time I'm in quite a lot of pain and I kind of struggle to get around. So I just wanted to say that I do realise the whole point of counselling is one-to-one regular contact. However, I do on the other hand also realise that there are other ways to do counselling sessions. A lot of counsellors these days will offer perhaps a phone service or video calls and things like that these days. Or you can simply talk to somebody through email, I've heard as well. So there are numerous different options and different forms of counselling that is out there. And I made my counsellors well aware that I have fibromyalgia and it does impact my life in terms of just getting around to places. I'll try my hardest to come in to the sessions, but it can't be guaranteed that every single week I'll be able to go to these counselling lessons. And a few years ago I was really suffering with incredibly bad mental health. It was really bad, to the point where it was seriously affecting my university life, it was affecting my home life, and it was affecting loads of other things as well. I still struggle with it slightly now, but my mental health is a lot better than what it used to be, and I'm very proud of how far I've come in the past couple of years. But this was at a time where I really did need help and I really did need the counselling. It took me a long time to realise that I actually needed help and I actually needed counselling, because I think sometimes when you're in that state and when you're thinking certain thoughts, you don't want to admit that you need help. Even if you know deep down that you do need help, it's very hard to, well, for me it was very hard anyway, to just admit that I needed help. And I wanted help as well, but I was so nervous to not only admit that I needed help, but I was so nervous to just talk to somebody about it and be like, do you know what, I need counselling, or do you know what, I need antidepressant medication, or whatever. I kind of felt like counselling was one of the last things that I could really do to try and help myself out of this hole that I'd gotten myself into. Eventually I got in contact with counsellors and I began to fill out the forms, and it was a very long process actually, just waiting around for them to actually take me on and for us to begin the sessions, because there was a little bit of complication when I was filling out the forms, in terms of I filled out the forms and sent an email back to my counsellors, and I heard nothing back for quite a while. And then when I finally emailed them back and was like, what's going on with this counselling? I applied, I've not heard anything about it since. That's when they said your form wasn't actually sent out properly, or your email was lost. There was some kind of bullshit response. But either way, there was a confusion with my forms, and it was something on their end. It wasn't anything that I had done. But when all that was finally sorted and I finally did start my counselling sessions, I was scheduled to have one counselling session a week, and it would fit around my other commitments, so my university studies and all of that kind of stuff. Counselling is like this thing where you're not gonna feel the benefits straight away. Some people might, but quite a few don't. I don't think you're gonna start benefiting until you've done quite a few sessions. And I attended these sessions twice before I emailed the lady on my third week of sessions to say that my fibromyalgia was really bothering me and I couldn't make it to the session. She emailed me back and said that's fine. The fourth week, the next week, I emailed her again and said that I couldn't make it to the session once again. That is when things were kind of a bit like, you know, she reminded me that you need regular contact with your counsellor to benefit from counselling. She told me that I can't continue to miss sessions because There are a lot of other people on the waiting list. Now that you've missed a couple of sessions, it's quite possible that we would need to basically just kick you out of counselling because you've not attended a couple of sessions, which in a way is fair enough. I completely understand it in some respects because obviously, you know, there is a long waiting list of people on counselling, but I expressed my worries about attending all of the sessions well in advance. When I read the email that she'd sent me telling me that I could possibly now be kicked out of counselling, it was truly heartbreaking, and I felt like at that moment in my life, my last resort, the last thing that I could possibly try to make myself feel better was counselling. And when that opportunity was taken away from me, because I did end up being kicked out of counselling, I kind of feel like you are alone once again in the whole situation. And I kind of like said to myself, well, I guess it's up to me. Where the counselling was not very good for me either, because it was around about the area of my university. In this point in my life, a lot of rumours and nastiness was going around about me and about how I fake my illnesses and how my anxiety is not real, it's all just put on, and all of that kind of stuff. A lot of nastiness and a lot of rumours was getting spread about the uni, and a lot of people didn't like me, and I was actually at some points scared to go near the university or anywhere around that area, simply because of what those people were saying, what they were doing, and how I was being treated. So that didn't help either with my attendance for the counselling sessions. It did feel like a big stab in the back, a big kind of kick in the teeth. And the thing is, like I mentioned earlier, you know, there are lots of other ways that people can do counselling nowadays, and I was offered no alternative. It was just like, you've been kicked out of counselling, bye, see you later. Like, we're not going to do anything else for you. We're not even going to offer you, like, maybe you want to organise for us to ring you every week and we can chat about things that way. No, I got none of that alternative stuff that I felt like I really needed and what I really wanted. And I was not going to email the woman back and say, well, can you not ring me every week? Because I found like that was perhaps a little bit cheeky. So they completely just disowned me, and I never heard from the counselling group ever again. Part of me understands why they did it, because there are a shit ton of other people on the waiting lists, but at the same time the whole point of counselling is to help people out of the darkest and most horrible parts of their lives. I didn't get the help that I needed or that I wanted. After it took me so long to admit to myself that I actually needed help. But I just wanted to share that with you, mainly just because counsellors are there to help you, and even if you can't attend one-to-one sessions, they should at least offer you alternatives. And I just got nothing from this counselling group whatsoever, and part of me just feels really appalled in a way. So that is it for my little storytime video. It's kind of been a bit of a serious storytime. I've got another storytime video kind of lined up for you guys, ready to film, so thank you so much for watching. I do hope that you've enjoyed. If you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave it a thumbs up, and if you're new here, make sure to click on that subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in my next video. See you later.